My name is Doc. I'm one of the co-founders of the Hood Collective, and in today's video, we're going to be answering the question, what is cannabis marketing? Cannabis marketing is a huge topic. We just did an entire masterclass called THC Launchpad that goes over every aspect of cannabis marketing, in as much detail as we could. This video is going to be, a short and sweet video, just kind of covering all the different aspects of cannabis marketing. But before I get into the specifics, one term that I want to bring up that maybe most of you probably already know, but it applies directly to cannabis marketing and how much money you're spending on marketing, and that is what we call 280E. 280E is a part of the IRS tax code, and it is basically a law that says you can't write off marketing and business expenses for a business that is associated with things like illegal narcotics. And because as of the time I'm recording this, cannabis is still a Schedule I drug, we in the industry that are licensed cannabis businesses, I said we, but we're actually not a licensed cannabis business, where we don't have that problem. But if you are a licensed cannabis business, you are not able to write off your marketing as an expense, which is unfair in the sense that every other legal business, almost every other legal business is able to do that. You're not, but in the sense that it applies to all your competitors in the same way as it does you. It's not a competitive advantage or disadvantage, but what it does mean is there's a lot more pressure on marketing that doesn't exist in other industries. It makes it harder to afford marketing because you're not able to write it off, and your taxes are already plenty high and your margins are already probably not as high as you want. And so that is the reality. That's no excuse not to invest in cannabis marketing. It just is a term that it's just the situation is the way it is, and I wanted to go over what 280 is, and it's something that is going to be a struggle, but hopefully you're building it into your business model from the very beginning, just knowing that you're going to have to pay extra taxes compared to other businesses. So I'm just going to go through all the different forms of cannabis marketing. One of the first ones is your website. Your website is a platform, it's a tool, it's a place where people will come to you. It's kind of like the physical store structure, but it also is a very key part of your brand. And so when you are building your website, you are thinking about it from a marketing perspective. Directly connected to your web design is your SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's the way you get your website to rank near or at the top of Google search rankings when people search for dispensary near me, etc. And so when you're building your website, you should have SEO in mind. You should talk to your web designer, make sure they know what they're doing when it comes to SEO. And then as an ongoing strategy, if you want to drive traffic to your website, SEO is going to be one of your highest ROI options, because unlike many of the other advertising and marketing channels that we're going to be talking about, it's actually pretty good for cannabis, because if people are searching for cannabis on Google, they're going to return cannabis content, just like they would with any other content. The next thing we're going to talk about is print collateral. Print collateral starts with the most simple thing, your business card. That's a form of marketing. You're handing it out. You're advertising your business through that name card. But print collateral includes many other things. It includes leaflets, flyers, catalogs, sell sheets. It includes mailers. It includes postcards. Anything that you're printing up and distributing is print collateral. Along those same lines is cannabis merchandise. The difference between the print collateral and the cannabis merchandise, print collateral might include things that aren't even, printed on paper. It might be your lighters with your logo on it. It could be t-shirts that you're handing out. It could be anything that you're distributing. But when you switch into cannabis merchandise, what we're talking about is you're now trying to sell products to your customers. It may be your primary business. You may just be in the business of selling merch. But for most of you, it might be like a side business. It might be a cross between, the marketing of getting your name out there, getting your brand out there by distributing stuff for free, if they're going to buy it, and get the free, you get your advertising, they're paying for your advertising instead of you paying for it. Great. But also having a merch line, even if you're not making a lot of money on it, is also another great way to get your brand out in the world. One of the primary forms of cannabis marketing that you're probably thinking of is social media. It's a very dominant part of our lives right now, for good or for ill. And as you all probably already know, advertising or using social media to do your marketing is very challenging. The platforms are very difficult to deal with. They're hostile to cannabis. There are a couple of exceptions. LinkedIn, if you're a B2B business, social media marketing makes a lot of sense on LinkedIn. X is cannabis friendly, but it's also not the safest, best place to be advertising or marketing, or to be putting your name out there. And it doesn't have a huge cannabis community. Obviously, Instagram is primary when it comes to social media, and followed by Facebook and TikTok. All of them have a lot of challenges, and so be really careful about making an investment if you don't know what you're doing. Piggybacking off of social media, digital ads. Digital ads includes paid ads on social. It also includes paid search ads, primarily on Google. Both of these they're not impossible for cannabis, but I would be extremely cautious about investing in them, because the ROI at the best of times is low. You need to make a significant spend to be effective. And then when you're adding the extra complication of cannabis, it's almost impossible to make any money or any ROI doing paid ads, and anyone that's telling you different is probably just trying to make money off of you. So really do your homework if you're even considering it, but I would caution against it. But there are a few areas of digital ads that might make sense. Doing digital ads on screens in dispensaries, that's a whole different ball game, and that could make a lot of sense for your business. So there are other ways to do digital. I'm not going to go through all the examples. We have a separate video just about it. But for the most part, most of you probably don't want to be doing digital. One area that does make a lot of sense for cannabis businesses is email marketing. It's a great way to build up brand loyalty. If you're a dispensary, you should probably be investing quite a lot in your email marketing. You can create automated messaging that's like, oh, we haven't seen you in 30 days. Boom, send out an email with a coupon. Oh, it's your birthday. Here's a coupon. Happy birthday. Oh, we have a new product. Oh, you can kind of automate a lot of these systems, and it's a great way to get the customers that are already coming in at least once, and creating repeat business. We just talked a lot about social. One area that's social adjacent that might make sense for your business, influencer marketing. That's where you are, on one end, you may be just giving product to influencers so they can review it. You're not, you're not having a partnership with them, all the way to like sponsoring an influencer, or paying them to do a review, or paying them to show up at events and film and talk about it on their channels. Where you may be struggling quite a bit to get traction on social, the influencers that have already carved out a niche for themselves and are taking the risk of being shadow banned and whatnot, that could be a good option for you. Just again, as I say a lot, do your homework before you enter into any partnership with anyone. Okay, getting near the end, going through some really quickly. There's what we call OOH. This is out of home advertising. This includes billboards, park benches or bus stop benches, the shelters at bus stops. It could even be murals on walls in your city, etc. These are all ads that people are seeing out of their home on different forms of signage. It can make a lot of sense if you have a physical location or you have a brand that's being sold through physical locations. And so for some of you, if it's allowed in your state, it's going to be a good investment. Radio and TV is another form of cannabis marketing that in most cases just off limits. I'd say the majority of states don't allow it. Some states do, with heavy to light restrictions depending on the state. CBD, you're more likely to be able to do it with some light restrictions, but it's expensive, and it's only going to be open to the biggest brands that are able to make that kind of investment. More likely, more feasible for the majority of you would be print ads in magazines, in local newspapers, etc., etc. Print ads can make a lot of sense, and it just make sure that your audience is lining up with their audience. And one last one to mention that I think is a big part of the industry: event marketing. Whether you are showing up at events and just going around selling yourself, selling your business, you're tabling at these events and having a booth and being able to meet with customers, peer businesses, networking, etc., or sponsoring events. All three are options. It just depends on where you're at, what makes sense for your business. So that doesn't hit every aspect of cannabis marketing, but it definitely covers all the big ones. I don't think I left anything out. This has just been a very quick overview, quick by my standards, of cannabis marketing, defining what it is. And if you have any questions about any of the specific topics, every one of the things we talked about, we have a video specifically about that on our site. We have a page about it on our website. And so there's a lot more information out there on our platforms and elsewhere. So whatever areas that make the most sense for you, learn more, figure out what is right for you, how to go about it the right way. And last thing, just good luck. It's a tough environment out there for cannabis businesses. Every state is facing many of the same challenges, but each state is a little different. And so, we're pulling for you. And if you have any questions, you can, if you come to our website and reach out, we do free consultations, no strings attached, where you tell us what you need, what you're looking for, you tell us about your business, and we say, it's not just like how we can help you, but like what do we recommend in general. If you are interested in working with us, this is what we could do for you, but we're not just trying to sell you, we're trying to help you. That's kind of our mindset. And so I hope in that spirit that this video has been helpful to you. And if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments. Find my contact information on our website, leave a form on our website. There's many ways to get a hold of me. We'd love to chat with you. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.